Wolfpack versus African wild dogs. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, but with all that being said, which dogs are top dogs? Forget about the domesticated dogs that still have some tendencies of their wild ancestors. We're talking about the actual wild canines of the world. The canines that are cousins to the domesticated dogs. We're talking about wolves, and we're talking about African wild dogs. The vicious canines that live in the wild, hunt for food, and fight tooth and nail just to stay alive. They're all more vicious than your lapdog, but if we pitted a wolf pack against a pack of African wild dogs, who would come out victorious? Who would wear the crown of top dog? Or shall we say top dogs? Because this isn't a one-on-one match, this is going to be a melee. Pack versus pack, it's going to get interesting. Wolf pack. We need to do introductions first, so we'll start with the wolf, but not just the wolf, the entire wolf pack. Now, before we go any further, we need to decide what kind of wolf pack we are talking about, because there are several species and subspecies of wolves in the world. There are around 40 subspecies of wolves living in the world today, but just 3 species. Those 3 species are the red wolf, the Arabian wolf, and the grey wolf. Grey wolves, also known as timber wolves, are the ones most people think of when they hear the word wolf, for good reason. They are the largest species of wolf, and they are also the most common. So we'll be using a pack of grey wolves in this battle royale. As mentioned, grey wolves are the most common wolves in the world. But where in the world are they? Grey wolves are circumpolar, meaning they are situated around one of the Earth's poles. In this case, they're situated near the North Pole. You can find grey wolves in North America, Europe, and Asia, but you'll generally just find them farther north. Grey wolves find themselves in many different habitats, like tundras, forests, woodlands, grasslands, mountains, taigras, and even deserts. Grey wolves vary in size depending on where they are, but something to keep in mind, they oftentimes get quite big. And they're not only the biggest wolves in the world, they're the biggest canines alive today. Grey wolves will often reach about 6.5 feet long, and the males can range between 80 to 180 pounds. The females are smaller, but can even reach up to 120 pounds. So if we're talking about a pack of wolves, they'll vary in size, but there may be a male wolf, a leader, that's up to 180 pounds, and several others varying between that weight and 100 pounds. This is a pack of large canines, and if we're talking about the size of the pack itself, typically a pack of grey wolves will have between 5 and 8 members. There will be the alpha male and female, and then several others, often consisting of their offspring. But grey wolves are big on a dominance hierarchy so that order can be maintained within the ranks of the 4-legged soldiers. They also form strong social bonds, so they're a tight-knit group, and they work extremely well together. The pack can have a territory ranging anywhere from 30 to 1,200 square miles. They defend their territory ferociously. If other packs try to move in on their home, they will defend it with all their will and might. It is a big mistake of wolf packs to try to horn in on another pack's territory. That is where they hunt for their food. The pack hunts together most times, the alpha male and alpha female both being very active on hunts. Grey wolves are endurance hunters, meaning they aren't going to ambush their prey. No, they are intent on chasing down their prey for however long they have to. They assume they won't catch their prey immediately. They assume the prey will flee. Grey wolves are banking on this because they know they are built for the long haul. They're like marathon runners, and they're just going to chase their prey until they get too tired to run anymore, and then they close in. Grey wolves can run between 30 to 37 miles per hour, and they keep up consistently fast speeds for long periods of time. And they're extremely strong, taking down prey that is twice their size at times. And the power of their bite is tremendous. For comparison, a human's bite force is about 120 psi. The grey wolf has a bite force of over 1,200 psi, more than twice any domestic dog, and more than 10 times as strong as you or I. Not many animals are surviving that. So does the African wild dog pack think that they have a chance? African wild dogs. The African wild dog is also known as the painted dog and the Cape hunting dog, and it is the largest canine native to sub-Saharan Africa. There are some populations in the Sahara Desert, but mostly African wild dogs live south of the Sahara. They live in countries like Chad, Central African Republic, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Kenya, and Zambia, to name a few. They're mainly found in savannas, grasslands, open woodlands, open plains, and scrublands. African wild dogs are the bulkiest and most solidly built of all African canines. They'll typically be between 2.5 feet to 3.5 feet long, and usually they weigh between 40 and 80 pounds. In fact, when you look at African wild dogs in comparison to all canines, they're one of the largest species alive today. Larger than all foxes and coyotes and dingoes, you name it. The only canines bigger than African wild dogs are the different species of wolves. African wild dogs have shorter and broader skulls than most canines. They also feature a unique feature called a trenchant heel, which is a blade-like heel on the lower carnassial which assists in the shearing capacity and allows South African dogs to consume their prey at a faster rate. The only other canines who have this feature are the dhole and the South American bushdog. Now, African wild dogs can eat their prey fast once they've caught it, but what does it look like when they're trying to catch it? Well, a pack of African wild dogs acts and hunts quite similarly to a pack of grey wolves. They have the alpha male and female. They are also endurance hunters, so they'll go after medium-sized antelope and give them chase for long periods of time. They will often be sprinting at speeds of 41 miles per hour and will chase an antelope or other prey anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. During this chase, there are many times in which the African wild dogs will bite at the back and butt and legs and sides of the prey, wounding it along the way, slowing it down until it is time to take it down. However, a pack of African wild dogs differs in size. The minimum is usually 5, like a grey wolf pack, but they're often found in packs of up to 20 individuals. African wild dogs have one of the highest bite forces relative to its size among carnivores. Pound for pound, they're one of the best. But when you just look at the sheer force, their bite force is about 320 psi. Now imagine that coming from 20 dogs all at once. The pack of African wild dogs works so well together, so seamlessly, they're even quite democratic. When it comes time to go out for a hunt, the pack will get together in a sort of rally, and they vote on whether they want to hunt or not. The way they vote, believe it or not, is by sneezing, a sharp, short exhalation through the nostrils. Usually, a dog will initiate, and then more dogs will have to agree with their sneezes. If a dominant dog initiates, it only takes about 3 agreeing sneezes before the pack decides they will hunt. If it is a less dominant dog that initiates, then they may need up to 10 agreeing sneezes for a hunt to take place. You have to give it to them, they are organized. So will the African wild dogs be able to organize an attack plan on the pack of grey wolves? The showdown. Finally, it's going to be pack versus pack. Now, African wild dogs rule Africa, and grey wolves are rulers of the north primarily. Maybe we can ask the two packs to meet somewhere in the middle. A fair middle ground might be some southern European region, because if we brought the African wild dogs up north, they'd be in trouble. They are not suited for cold weather, and they'd surely lose as they'd be preoccupied with their plummeting body temperatures. The same would likely go for our grey wolf pack if they headed down to the heat of Africa. With all that extra hair and insulation, they'd be overheating in an instant. But if we placed these two packs in a fair battleground, we could really assess them. Now, we're thinking this grey wolf pack is going to be about 7 strong, as that is an average number for them. But the pack of African wild dogs, they'll probably be around 15. That's an instant advantage if we have 2 African wild dogs for every grey wolf. They'll have them outnumbered. Then again, the grey wolf is likely twice the size of each African wild dog, maybe even more than that. The grey wolves also have a bite force that is immense. It is around 4 times as strong as that of the African wild dog. While the African wild dogs have their special teeth built for shredding meat, that won't do them any good while they're trying to bring a wolf down. Power and bite force goes to the wolves. But sheer numbers go to the African wild dogs, as well as speed. They can run about 10 miles per hour faster than the grey wolves. So it becomes very clear what needs to happen for the African wild dogs if they want to succeed. They need to strike first and strike quickly. We know they are great at organizing amongst themselves, then again so are the wolves. If the African wild dogs can use their advantage with speed and numbers, pouncing on the grey wolves, perhaps 2 jumping on 1 wolf at a time, maybe even 3 at a time, they can knock a wolf out. If they're able to do that once or twice right off the bat, they've immediately dwindled the numbers of the grey wolves, and now their advantage isn't that they have twice as many battlers in their pack, it's that they have 3 times as many. However, any hesitation and the grey wolves will capitalize. They know that one of them alone can take out an African wild dog with ease. If the grey wolves can circle them, strategize, corner any members of the pack and pick them off, they will start picking apart the one true advantage the African wild dogs had: numbers. The grey wolf is just bigger and stronger than the African wild dog. So, the African wild dogs only win if they are able to capitalize on their numbers. But that is definitely a possibility. No matter how strong the grey wolves are, it would be difficult for them to battle off dog after dog after dog. The African wild dogs are looking for this to end with a few quick knockout punches. But the grey wolves are looking for this fight to go the distance. The longer it goes, the better it looks for the grey wolves. They're the most common and biggest canines in the world for a reason, and don't ever forget that.